take it too. People are really, people are really tripping over the tariffs, right? Okay. Let's not act like we haven't been in hyperinflation. Inflation is like the entire time. Like kind of since COVID, like it's just slowly gotten up to the point now. So the tariffs, right, are only gonna make things however they're gonna make it. I see what he's trying to do, but he would have to cut taxes. And then, I mean, what countries are gonna go along with it? Because yeah, even if you know, say we beat China over the head, right? But China, like, oh, that's wild. China knows that we buy like the bulk of everything. They've destroyed the dollar. Oh, it's not just China that destroyed the dollar. It's a good. They have a lot to do with it. And when it comes to just resources and manpower is the thing. Because we don't have them. Like, and then when you look back at, like the past president and all these things, right? I'm not trying to be that guy, but I have to be that guy. When you look at the things that happen, let's just say the war. Because I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to say the war, right? So the war is just wide open for a long time. A long, long time. So we have all these people. And that's the thing, is I don't have a problem with people that come from other countries. I don't. But I do everything about it. Mexicans have been here. Like, they've been here, period. And then I think that's just a thing in America, Mexicans are gonna come from Mexico. I dig it. But I'll tell you what, if my granny didn't come over here and my grandpappy, I wouldn't be here. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord, they snuck across that border. I'm not. And then that's another thing. Like, I was raised with Mexicans. Like, not like that, but going to school, we always had illegal kids in our school, and we pretty much knew, but we didn't ask because it didn't matter. It didn't. We're a kid. You're a kid. Let's go play. That was the thing. It was never like people getting deported like that. Now, I remember when I was in elementary school, there was like one sweep, and that was, I don't know why that was. And then I remember my friend's brother got deported, but he was also a gang member. So he went to jail, and yeah, I mean, if you're over here illegally, you don't tend to want to commit crimes. But if you do, that's that life that you chose. Just like when we do shit, if we are living that way and we go to jail, we go to jail. Same thing. They just don't want to be back in Mexico. Especially if you've been raised here your whole life, why would you want to go back? I wouldn't want to go back neither. But I'm lying. If I spoke Spanish, I'd for sure go to Mexico. America sucks. Not like that, but I'm not renouncing my citizenship or anything like that. I'm not a terrorist. But like the Venezuelans, and I'm really not tripping on them. But the Russians that are crossing over here, just coming through Canada also, because it's not just Mexico that's crossing. They're coming through Canada too. And then China. When you look at China and how much land China has bought, China has bought so much land, like hundreds of millions of acres from America. Like when we're talking like farmland, we're talking about places next to military bases and things like that, right? Why would you allow another country to buy land if you're not a citizen? You shouldn't be able to buy land. I thought that was a rule somewhere, because I mean, if that's the case, say somebody wanted all of Florida, right? And another country just, yeah, we'll cash you out 10 billion. Are you just going to sell Florida? You can't just sell land to other countries. So now China just has all these pockets of land everywhere. So who says that these people aren't crossing the border and going to these chunks of land and making bases and all these other things, right? Because at this point it's not ours. It's theirs. And we're talking of hundreds of millions of acres, which is crazy. We can't buy it though, but other countries can buy it. I just want some land like 30, 35 acres, 30 acres. That's what I want. Just leave this, what I'm on right now, leave this, be on a horse or a donkey, riding it out. But I mean, those are the only people that I have actual concern about are the Chinese and the Russians and North. That's it. Like everybody's trying to make it, well, not everybody, I would say the left is trying to make it sound like it's Mexican. It's not Mexican. We're just trying to go on people from Venezuela and all these other things. Like the whole country is primarily to go to great because they ship them all. That is why. Yeah, I don't even know what to compare that to. Like, there's nothing you can compare it to besides like dumping a whole prison off in another country, a small country. It's like, yeah. And then people take a lot of what Trump says and they mix it up, because a lot of people don't look for it. But one thing that I did run across, and I know this thing, I forgot what it's called, but say groups of people, right? Like, say there's a job and you have a women's conference, and all the women go. That is no longer going to be a thing. I forgot what it's called. But basically, groups of people going and doing something and being inclusivity, something like that. But that's out. Like, my fiance works for was the thing, and that was their last little. So going with that, right? So my daughter's in elementary school. Oh, sorry. So my daughter's in elementary school, and she keeps trying to sign up for this black group something, and I kind of I don't dig it. I don't dig it at all. I don't want you joining a group that's black anything, because it's taking you away from school. You know who you are, and I mean, you're more Mexican than black. But either way, none of that matters. But for the school to be still, doing these This is the first time I heard about this group, and it's been a thing. So, would that be a thing that they can't have these groups because Trump ended that people meeting that are just that group? And I know why Trump did it. Trump did it for gay people. Like, I think gay rallies and things like that. That's what I believe. I might not be right. I'm just, guessing. But to end all these groups doesn't make sense. And I guess it's because, or it could be because of it could be because of some people feel left out. Because we have a lot of people now transitioning. So if this is an all women's thing, and then we have I don't know what the correct term is. If we have a man that's transitioning into a woman, or it has been transitioned all the way into a woman, and they go to that thing, is he just stopping it so there's no more, so there won't be an issue anymore? Which that's not bad either. I don't see that as a bad thing. I think, I know people are never happy. People are never satisfied. So it doesn't matter who does what. People are not going to be happy. But what I did notice, and I was just talking to my dad about this, people that they're presidents that don't win, it's almost like they're not American anymore. And I've noticed it a lot with the left, right? So when Biden was in office, we had to accept that he was the president, right? We couldn't do nothing about it. We didn't do anything crazy. We didn't say anything crazy. Like, we didn't say we was going to smite him or anything like that. None of that. We didn't do none of that. Biden was just the president, and we took that for what it is. Okay, well, we're gonna have to get the next one. Trump is gonna have to win. But as soon as Trump won, right? Now all the left is like not American. Like, people are talking about civil wars and black people are going to be slaves again and all this other weird stuff. Where the slaves at? I know I'm not a slave.
All the Mexicans are the slaves now, says Mr. Chicano. I said all the Mexicans are the slaves now, says Mr. Chicano. We're glad.
Where the Mexicans the slaves at?
Yeah,
I was going to say the Mexicans ain't no slaves.
Yeah, but they ain't mad at it. Yeah, but they'll do the grunt work.
Well, it's gonna get to a point where everybody's gonna do grunt work.
Every culture was real good for man different. History-wise, in order for Rome to build or for the Egyptians to get what they done, there always had to be a class that another class decided to just basically keep them down mentally.
Labor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because first it was China. China made all the railroads. Like, they act like.
Over here,
Right.
Yeah, like in America, over here, if you watch the movie about Bruce Lee, The Dragon, it mentions that when he's on the train to the States, that there's a history maker or whatever on the train with the Chinese guy. You ever heard of this? Got a Chinaman case? That's when they let the Chinaman down on the rope to place the dynamite in a particular hole. And there's got to be enough guys to pull them up quick enough before that explodes, or that piece of land and that chunk of land that you're trying to get rid of to cross over like a river to make a bridge, they'll die because the rope will break, or they'll get part of the explosion. That's what they call it, not a Chinaman's chance. I know well enough too that they say that they would do that shit on purpose. They would make the trees too short.
That is terrible.
Only in America.
Right?
And I drink some coffee.
This shit, man, this,
Didn't even think about that. This is a good brand too, by the way. Coming from this. Salt, you got no lid. Salt. Trust the lady, I guess.
And that's another thing that got me. You know, a lot of people put so much faith into anybody. But I know for sure they did it to Trump. Like, you know, they made him. I don't know what it was. Besides, people put actual faith into him, and people aren't thinking about the decline of the dollar and the United States. Nobody's thinking about it. Everybody should have been thinking about all that when Ukraine and Russia and all that started. They should have paid attention to all that. Because as much money as we were just dumping to Ukraine, where's our money? Why are we dumping this much money? And then, like, you know, when it comes to like weapons and stuff like that, nobody's buying ammo and things like that. Because what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Nobody pays attention to the components. Nothing. Even if we have brass, right? Say we have brass. We don't have anything to ignite it. We don't have gunpowder. We don't have primers. We don't have none of that stuff. So once that really does really start to happen, because they're talking about $30 or not 30, but 30% rise on ammo, and people still aren't buying ammo. I've been telling people for 2 years, solid, that y'all need to get your ammo up. And I'm talking everything. Doesn't matter. Whatever you own, you need to stock up on that. Period. I would say have ball ammo for sure. You know, like so you can train at some point. But what else are we talking about when it comes to like weapons and tools? If you don't have anything to fire it, and that's what's going to happen. If people are going to be so focused on getting weapons, they're not going to think of what to use the weapon with. Or they're not thinking that far ahead that they're going to last. This is my thing. I'm planning on lasting. Like I got stuff. Man. I got a 308 for sure. Like that's something that's not AR-10. No, I have a 19 rifle. Yes, and I got probably 300 different rounds of 308 for hunting. Now, would I shoot a human with it? Probably not. I would not shoot a human with a 308 out of a hunting rifle. No, I wouldn't. No. I see what it does to pumpkins and stuff. No, I'm not doing it. But people aren't thinking about when society really breaks and there's no ammo and guns are breaking apart and falling apart. Like the day I can trade like 3 bullets for like a bag of flour, I'm finna be on. I am finna be so happy. So happy. Y'all don't even understand. Yeah, y'all don't even know it. That's the thing for me. Like buying ammo is a real thing, and you better be focused with it. Because if not, you're gonna be out of luck. And then people don't think they got a train or nothing. Like you can just get a gun and 200 rounds, maybe 200 rounds of defense ammo. You know what I'm saying? 200 rounds of hollow points. But I mean, shoot. 200 rounds of ball ammo, that's nothing. That is one range a day. And then people don't like take into consideration, because I kind of go off military standards and stuff like that, right? So the average firefight, I think they said is like 300 rounds. That is a good aim. And some like some 223 or 556. That's a pretty penny, man. Pretty good. How about yourself?
Very good. My name is Miss Brayden. I'm a human trafficking victim. I'm doing a fundraiser for human trafficking. Will you donate
Are you from here?
Yeah.
Well, I have $1.20. I'll give you. How long you gonna be out here?
I'm gonna be here for about an hour.
Okay, I should be back in a few minutes.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Shit, my bad, y'all. Should have this work for human trafficking. Never heard of that. It's kind of different. But anyway, back to what I was saying. People are not thinking clearly. Like the magazine. That's another thing too. I've been telling people everywhere because I'm from Oregon, right? So I'm from Oregon, and they're getting funny with the magazines and the gun laws and all that. So I just got I just bought a frame like a week and a half ago, something like that, like last week. And I was talking to the gun dude, right? And I've bought maybe like five, 6 guns, and have them do all the transfers and stuff. And he was saying that if 114 doesn't go through, that they have 10 other bills that we the people are going to be able to vote on, right? Just like 114. And it's gonna in 10 bills they're gonna have that we need to have permits. They're gonna just slip them in. So that's 10 bills out of what was it? I think it was 3,200, 3,400 bills that we're voting on, the people. So hopefully it's not, and this is what I feel like it's gonna be. It's gonna be one for sure is gonna be in a school bill, which does not make sense. But the permit to purchase is going to be in a school bill, and some kind of tax break. I know for sure that's what it's going to be, and that's 2 for sure, because that's how they get people. Because people don't be thinking about that stuff. They just, oh well, we're going to get money back. Cool, let's sign it. I want more taxes. You need to get a job and stop worrying about taxes. Yeah, that's what you need to do. You need to get a job. You need to stop having kids, and you ain't got $10,000 back from a tax refund. They ain't did nothing with it. You ain't started an LLC. You ain't put a down payment on nothing. I don't want to hear it. So that's how we're gonna end up getting the permit to carry, even though they don't. Oh, and then they're talking about canceling or like destroying concealed carry. I tell you what, I conceal carry every day. I'm not finna stop. I'm not. You can't. What? I mean, does that mean people are gonna just start open carrying? Cause yeah, Oregon is something else, man. Now, if you live on the outskirts, like Scappoose, like the beach, like Lincoln City, places like that, like Medford, Baker City, you're good. Ontario, if you live in these places, you're fine. Let it be in a city like Clackamas or, Portland. Because I want to say Portland was the one that set 114 over. Just Portland. I don't really understand it, and I don't get it.
Right down to 73rd and Gleason.
That was weird. That was a weird moment, but I don't mind. 9 minutes, cool. I can walk up in here. Man, I am so hungry. I've been fasting for 3 days. Not the entire time. I just fast from sun up to sundown. But man, I am starving. Oh my gosh. Just hungry. And what I've noticed too, I need to get a different holster, because now that I've lost weight, I ain't lost a good 20 pounds. I ain't lost weight. My gun does not sit right on my hip anymore. Hip, appendix, belly button. It's just, I don't know. And it feels like my shorts fit different too. This thing is like always showing. It's always trying to show a gun. I don't know, like what is going on? Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's the 30. Doesn't matter if it's the 22. It's showing something. Ooh, what's that? But yeah. Now, time to go. Rant's over.